Last weekend, I raced on the Great Wall of China against elite athletes from all over the world for my first trail race of the season. It was one of the coolest, but also most painful moments of my life. So, how did I get to this point? I started this year by doing a half marathon on the roads. I planned this race into training strategically for two reasons. One, because I live in Williams, Arizona, and we get snow during the winter, so it's a lot easier to get in a good workout on the roads than the trails. The second reason I did the half is because the trail races I do are around 2 to 3 hours, so I'm running around the time I would run for a flat road marathon in most races. Since these races are short for trail races, I found that building flat speed translates to more power and faster running on the trails too. Most elite trail runners do some kind of flat speed work, so it's normal for us to do road races during our off-season. This was my first road race in 4 years, and I ended up PRing by 4 minutes in my half, so I was really happy with the results and excited to start training in the trails more. After the half, I knew I needed to add in more vert, so I drove to California and spent a week getting my legs used to really steep climbs and descents. This trip was all about getting my legs used to trails again, and I was definitely sore after the trip. Other than that trip, if I wanted steeper trails in the winter, I had to go to Sedona to find them. Sedona is about a 3-hour round trip for me, so I tried to get on trails twice a week during this build. It wasn't a lot of time in the trails, so I was a little nervous for this race. Because of how hard it is to get on trails during the winter, I'm usually not in great climbing or trail shape early on in the season. I'm actually okay with that though, because it helps me periodize training and hit peak fitness in the trails in the fall when I need to be in my best shape for championship season instead of being in great shape at the start of the season and then burning out by the end. So overall, I was happy with training for this build and felt like I built a good base for the season without overtraining early on, and I was excited to start my season with a Golden Trail Series race. The Golden Trail World Series is a race series that has 8 regular season races and a final. In every regular season race, points are given to the top 60 athletes. The points get exponentially higher, so 60th place gets 2 points, while first place gets 200. Points are added up from your top 3 regular season races and the final to create your final score and final ranking. Last year, I was 11th in the series, and my big goal this year is to crack the top 10. Also last year, I started my season with 2 Golden Trail Series races that also had a lot of vert in them. I finished in 17th in the first race and 14th in the second, so my goal was to better my place in this first race in China. So I headed off from Williams, Arizona to China. This travel is very far and included a 3-hour drive to Vegas, 2.5-hour flight to Vancouver, 12.5-hour flight to Beijing, and then a 2-hour bus ride to the race course. I broke this travel up into 3 days so I would have time to sleep and adjust to the huge time change. We finally made it to the race hotel and all the athletes went out to the course for some course recon. This first day, we checked out the first part of the course, which includes some steep trails leading up to the Great Wall, and then what we had all been waiting for, 3 miles on the Great Wall itself. Running on the Great Wall is wild. The wall follows the mountain ridges, so it's basically just steep ups and downs the whole time, sometimes on stairs and sometimes on smoother sections that look like a road. The steps are also all different lengths and heights, so it's really hard to get in a rhythm. You just kind of have to take quick steps and watch the stairs as they change. One of the best parts of racing internationally is learning about different cultures. The first night, our hosts arranged a welcome dinner for us and gave us traditional Chinese outfits to dress in. All the athletes got dressed, and our host served us some incredible Chinese food and gave us presents for good luck in the race. It was an epic first day at the race course. The second day, we checked out the second part of the race, the trails after the Great Wall. These trails are basically just short, steep climbs followed by descents that were just as short and steep. In a lot of trail races, the course has 3 to 4 bigger climbs and descents, but this race was unique because it rolls up and down the entire time. The climbs didn't last more than a quarter or half mile, but they were constant the whole race. The next day, my friends Courtney and Alex got to China. Courtney was racing too, so I showed her the section of the Great Wall, but I kept this run short and relaxed because my legs were actually tired after a couple days exploring this course.
It was like Mario Kart. It was like Rainbow Road level.
Could take this Rainbow Road. Right. No way! That's insane! I was a little worried with how tired my legs were, so after this I knew I just needed to rest my legs for the race, so I took the day before the race off to rest. The race started at 2 p.m., so on race morning, we had plenty of time to fill and drop off our bottles for the aid stations. It was warm on race day, so I knew nutrition and hydration would be important out on the race course. I got all my gear together, loaded the race course on my watch, and took the carts over to the start.
We are definitely warming up, that's for sure.
It is warm out here.
Balmy day. You know, maybe for midsummer it's not hot, but
Yeah,
for early season,
it's warm. The race finally started and we headed out to the mountains. I went out at a pace that felt pretty relaxed to me, and I was leading the chase pack around 7th place all the way through the section on the Great Wall. I was feeling good on the climbs and descents and hitting all my nutrition and hydration goals. The part of the race I was most nervous for was the section on the Great Wall, because I knew the stairs were going to be hard to run fast on, but I felt like I got in a really good rhythm on them, and there were some really fun sections on the wall where tourists lined up to cheer. Then we hit the steep trails after the wall, and that's where I really hit a wall. I was about 9 miles into the race when my body hit a massive wall. In this race, I was feeling really good until I didn't. But there wasn't much of a warning sign between feeling great and feeling terrible. After about 4,000 feet of climbing and descending, my legs were toast. My heart rate would shoot up on every climb and my calves were cramping on the descent, so there was no comfortable part of the race, and all I could really do was put one foot in front of the other and try to ignore the pain as much as I could. I dropped back a few spots and still finished 10th in the race, so I'm proud of powering through this one, but I know my legs need a lot more work on the steep climbs and descents. Reflecting on this race, I know what I need to work on, but I'm happy with where I'm at. I plan my season to be in peak shape at the end of the season in the fall. Instead of being really fit at the start of the season and burning out toward the end, or holding the same medium amount of fitness the whole season, I like to slowly build and be in my best shape right at the end when races are the most competitive and important. This requires a lot of patience at the start of the season, but after this race, I feel like I'm in better shape than I was at the start of last season, but I still have a lot of energy to train and room to grow, so I'm really excited to keep building. Next up, I'm training toward the US Mountain Championships at the beginning of June, which are also the qualifiers for the World Team. Also in June are 2 more Golden Trail Series races that I'll run to better my position in the rankings. I'll keep you updated on my training heading into these races, so thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe for more adventures and racing in the trails.